Hi, this is Guy Wallace. I started in learning and development way back in 1979, and I semi-retired in 2023. But my current mission as a semi-retired L&D professional is to help enterprise learning and development organizations become more performance-based. Welcome to my podcast. This episode is another production from Google's Notebook LM podcasting capabilities. I've been experimenting with these and have produced quite a few since September of 2024. In this episode, we're looking way back to my time at Motorola back in 1982, when I was charged with bringing in a Hathaway course on win-win negotiations. And then we pilot tested that with 3 different target audiences: purchasing agents, salespeople, and government contract negotiators. This was in preparation for our adoption or adapting, which we didn't know what we were going to do. Central to the program was win-win collaboration, and the stage was set, so to speak, by playing a game developed during World War II to select personnel for bomber crews. It's quite interesting. Let's listen in to the deep dive from Google's Notebook LM podcasting.
Welcome back, everyone, for another deep dive. This time, we're going to be tackling something really interesting, a negotiation game from the 1980s.
A negotiation game, huh?
Yeah, called Red or Blue. Now, you might think, a game from the 80s. How deep can that be?
Right.
But trust me, our source material is a partially redacted transcript of a negotiation training session using this game. Suggests it's way deeper than you'd think, especially when you learn where it came from.
Oh, this is going to be good.
Yeah. So tell me, have you ever heard of this Red or Blue game?
Can't say I have. Is this like a board game or something?
Not exactly. And get this, it wasn't some Wall Street invention or anything.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
This game originated during World War II.
World War II? Wow, really?
Yeah.
Now that's a curveball I wasn't expecting.
Right.
I mean, what does a negotiation game have to do with World War II?
Well, not playing, but they were the subjects. See, the military, they use it to assess bomber crews.
Bomber crews? So like the guys flying those B-17s?
You got it. They wanted to see how well these crews cooperated under pressure. Turns out, teamwork in a B-17, just as crucial as in, say, like a business negotiation.
That is a fascinating connection. So how did this wartime assessment tool end up like, a training exercise for business folks?
That is a great question. A Harvard business professor in the 80s, this guy saw the potential of this game to teach negotiation skills. So the transcript we're looking at today, it's from one of his sessions.
Okay, so we're getting a glimpse into how this game was used in a real training environment.
Exactly. And to make things even more interesting, he had people playing for real money.
Oh, wow, for real money.
Yeah, which, I mean, come on, that always adds a little extra something, right?
Absolutely. Stakes are higher when you got some skin in the game.
Yeah.
So how does this game actually work?
Okay, so picture this. 2 teams.
Right.
You and your group, and then another across the table.
Got it.
Now, for 10 rounds, each team has to choose between 2 colors. Red or blue.
Red or blue. Sounds simple enough.
You'd think, right. And here's where the real strategy comes in. It's all about the scoring. So, if both teams choose the same color,
okay,
you either get a small reward or a small penalty, depending on which color it is.
Interesting. So you're incentivized to coordinate, right?
Right. But then, if the teams choose different colors, well, that's when someone wins big and someone loses big.
So there's that element of risk versus reward. You can play it safe and try to match, or go for the big win with a mismatch, knowing you could also lose big?
Exactly. So right away, you've got this tension, right? Play it safe or go for the risky play.
Right, right.
I mean, I can only imagine what those players were feeling.
Yeah. I'd be sweating bullets for sure,
yeah,
especially with real money on the line. So tell me, how much did they actually have to put up?
Oh, they weren't messing around. Each player put in $5.
$5? In the 80s?
Yeah.
That's like a decent chunk of change.
I know, right? Winner takes all, too. So those players were feeling the heat.
No kidding. So with that kind of pressure, what did most groups do? Do they play it safe or go for broke?
Well, what's interesting is for those first 4 rounds, at least, most of them chose to minimize the risk.
Yeah.
They stuck with a blue-blue strategy.
So they were playing not to lose instead of playing to win? I can see how that might backfire.
Yeah, and you know what? The facilitator, he picked up on this right away. He even says in the transcript, get this, he says, winning requires the other party to let you win.
Let you win. That's deep.
Right, like you have to convince them that your success also benefits them. And choosing blue all the time, that kind of sends the opposite message, don't you think?
Yeah, it does. It's like you're saying, I'm just happy to be here. I don't really care about winning.
Exactly. It's almost like you're giving up your power before the negotiation even really begins.
Makes you wonder, was that intentional? I mean, did some teams pick up on this dynamic and use it to their advantage?
You know, I bet they did. That's what we're going to dive into next time, right? We'll see what other tricks those players had up their sleeves and what the observers had to say about it all. This is just the tip of the iceberg.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
So last time, we left off talking about how consistently playing it safe in this red or blue game, that blue-blue strategy could actually put you at a disadvantage.
Yeah, almost like you're signaling to the other team that you're not really serious about winning.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the facilitator, he really emphasizes this idea of perception in the transcript. It's not just about what you value, it's about how the other side perceives your value.
So even in a simple game like this, it's all about psychology.
Absolutely. And the observers of this session, they picked up on this too, this whole idea of gamesmanship.
Gamesmanship, what do they mean by that?
So it's not just about the rules, it's about how you play within those rules. Like, how do you use your actions, even your nonverbal cues, to influence the other team's perception?
Okay, that's fascinating. Give me an example. What kind of gamesmanship did they see?
Well, the transcript mentions one team. Every time both teams chose blue, remember, that safe option, they'd let out these big, exaggerated sighs of relief.
Really? Like they were trying to make a point.
It seems that way, right?
Yeah.
Almost like they were subtly encouraging the other team to stick with that safer blue choice again.
Oh, I see. Like a little psychological nudge. So even in a game like this, there's room for strategy, mind games, all that.
Absolutely. And the observers, they noticed all sorts of subtle tactics like this. It really highlights how much of negotiation is about reading the other side, sending signals, almost like a game of poker.
So it's not just about picking red or blue, it's about the psychology behind those choices.
Exactly. And what's amazing is, this game, it was designed for bomber crews in World War II.
Right.
But it reveals these deeper truths about negotiation that are relevant no matter what you're negotiating.
I'm starting to see that. But we've only just scratched the surface here. There's got to be more to this red or blue game, right?
Oh, there's so much more. For starters, they found that minimizing your risk early on, well, that could actually put you in a weaker position later in the game.
Really? So those teams that were so obsessed with playing blue, they might have actually shot themselves in the foot.
In a way, yeah. And the facilitator, he brings up another key point, that sometimes taking a calculated risk is essential for success.
Almost like sometimes choosing red might not be such a bad idea. I'm really starting to see the layers here.
That's exactly where he takes us next. He starts talking about the power of perceived value. It's not just about what you value, it's how much the other party thinks you value something.
Okay, I'm following you. So how does that play out in the game?
Well, imagine you're constantly choosing blue. The other team, they might start to think you don't really care about winning those big red rewards.
Because you're so risk averse, right? They might think you're content with those smaller blue payouts.
Exactly. And the transcript actually mentions one team that fell into this trap. They were so focused on avoiding those red losses, they ended up projecting this image of weakness, like they weren't even trying to win. And the other team, well, they picked up on that pretty quick.
So how do you turn that around if you've accidentally sent that message? How do you show the other side that you're, a force to be reckoned with?
That's where those calculated risks come in. Let's say you choose red early on.
Even if it means a possible loss.
Yeah, because what that does is it shifts the power dynamic.
I see. It shows you're not afraid to take a chance to fight for what you want.
Right. It says, hey, I'm here to play the game. But, and this is crucial, it also opens the door for collaboration.
Wait, how does choosing red, which sounds like a competitive move, lead to collaboration?
Because if the other team also chooses red,
you both get the big payout.
Exactly. It creates this shared risk, this understanding that you're both willing to put something on the line to achieve a bigger goal.
So it's like building trust through shared risk.
Yeah.
You're saying, I trust you enough to take this gamble with you.
Precisely. And that trust, that can be way more valuable than those smaller blue games.
Wow, I'm starting to see how this all ties together. It's like you said earlier, winning requires the other party to let you win, and building trust is a huge part of that.
Right. Because when you trust someone, you're more likely to believe that their success is also your success.
So it's not just about being aggressive, it's about being strategic and building relationships.
Exactly. And that's something that the red or blue game really drives home. You can't just focus on your own gains. You have to think about the bigger picture.
It's like that famous quote, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together.
I love that. And, speaking of going far, the facilitator also emphasizes this idea of long-term thinking.
Okay, so don't just get caught up in those immediate wins and losses.
Right. He says, don't sacrifice long-term gains for short-term wins. Those teams that were so fixated on avoiding those early losses, they often ended up missing out on bigger opportunities down the line.
That makes a lot of sense. But I gotta ask, how do you apply that in a real-world negotiation? It's easy to say, think long-term, but when you're in the thick of it.
Yeah, it can be tough. But I think the key is to keep coming back to this idea of building trust and understanding the other party's motivations.
Because if you know what they really want, you can start to see those long-term possibilities.
Exactly. And you can start to see how your success can also benefit them. It's about finding those creative solutions where everyone comes out ahead.
It's like that saying, a rising tide lifts all boats.
Yes. And, I think one of the most important things this game highlights is that sometimes you have to be willing to lose a little to win a lot.
So don't be afraid to play red when it makes sense, even if it means a potential loss in the short term.
Exactly. Because sometimes that short-term loss can set you up for a much bigger win down the line. And I think that's a really powerful message, not just for negotiation, but for life in general.
I totally agree. It's about taking calculated risks, trusting your gut, and understanding that sometimes the path to success isn't always a straight line.
Well said.
It's funny, isn't it? This whole red or blue thing, it makes you think about all those little negotiations we do every day,
Like what?
Oh, I don't know, like deciding where to eat with friends or who does the dishes, stuff like that.
Right.
Like, are we, without even realizing it, are we playing red or blue in those everyday situations?
I think you're onto something there. Because even those small everyday interactions, they're still negotiations, aren't they?
Yeah. It's about figuring out what everyone wants, what everyone's willing to give.
Exactly. So think about it this way. If you always agree to watch the movie your friend wants, even if you're not really into it, well, maybe that's you defaulting to that blue-blue strategy.
Oh, totally. Like avoiding conflict, keeping things nice and easy.
Right. And there's nothing wrong with choosing blue sometimes. The key is being aware of your choice.
Aware of why you're doing it, yeah.
Right. Like, are you giving up something important to you just to keep the peace? Or is it a genuine compromise where everyone's happy with the outcome?
Yeah, that's a good distinction. So it's not about always being aggressive. It's about choosing the right strategy for the situation.
Exactly. And that's what I think is so powerful about this red or blue game. It gives us this framework, this way of understanding how we make decisions in these everyday negotiations.
And it makes you more aware of the psychology involved,
Yeah.
right? Like, what are the other person's motivations? What are your motivations? It's all connected.
Absolutely. And there's something the facilitator said that really stuck with me. He said, the beauty of this game is that it forces you to make a choice.
Yeah.
You can't just sit back and see what happens. You have to actively participate, decide what you're going to do. And I think that's a powerful lesson, not just for negotiation, but for all aspects of life.
Totally. We're constantly making choices. Even choosing not to choose, that's still a choice.
Exactly. So in a way, this red or blue game, it's kind of a metaphor for life itself, isn't it?
Oh, I like that. Like, we're all playing this big game with risks and rewards, and it's up to us to figure out how to navigate it all.
Right. And, one last thought from the transcript, I think it's worth emphasizing. The facilitator said, the ultimate goal of negotiation is not to win, but to create value.
Wow, that's deep. So it's not just about getting what you want, it's about finding a solution that benefits everyone involved.
Exactly. And that's something we can all apply to our lives, whether we're negotiating a big business deal or just figuring out weekend plans with our family.
It's about finding those win-win solutions, those read moments where everyone comes out ahead.
Exactly. And sometimes it might even mean giving a little to get a lot,
It's about playing the long game, building those relationships, and understanding that sometimes the best outcome isn't always the one that benefits you the most in the short term.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Well, I think that about wraps it up for our deep dive into red or blue. What a journey this has been.
I know. We started with bomber crews in World War II and ended up talking about, the meaning of life.
Who knew a simple game could teach us so much?
And to all of you listening, we hope this conversation has inspired you to think about your own approach to negotiation.
Are you playing to win or just playing not to lose? Are you building trust or are you just focused on the transaction?
These are important questions to ask ourselves no matter what we're negotiating.
Absolutely. And remember, negotiation is a skill that can be learned and improved upon with practice. So don't be afraid to experiment, to try new things, and to always be learning.
And most importantly, have fun with it. Because at the end of the day, negotiation is really just another way of connecting with other human beings.
Well said. Well, that's all the time we have for today's deep dive. We hope you enjoyed this exploration of the red or blue game, and we'll be back soon with another fascinating journey through intriguing source material. Until then, happy negotiating!